we do a smile for the thumbnail. Hey, we're at episode 3 now. I am Janet Trevino. This is
Miranda, Wylie.
Our city is San Antonio, Texas.
Austin, Texas.
And we're both surrogate partners here in the Texas area. And we are watching Virgin Island episode 3. So, anything else you want to say before we jump in?
Let's see what they're up to.
We're halfway once we finish this episode, so we'll see how it goes.
You want to talk about what we've seen thus far?
Yeah, so they're talking about Taylor in the episode, and we're again season 3, and Taylor
Episode 3.
Oh my god.
Season 1.
Season 1, episode 3. And do you want to share the story, or do you want me to recap it?
Yeah, we go ahead, recap it.
Okay. So Taylor was the one originally who just kind of did not like. She was working with the other surrogate partner, the man was introduced, and they're trying a different approach. So they're trying it with a woman this time. What's her name?
Kat.
Kat, yes. And I don't remember what was right before that. So there's a story that they're sharing about her embarrassing moment when a man was looking at her, and she was really uncomfortable with that. So they made the switch to Kat to work with. And what we're noticing is that there's been some just expression of like emotion. Kat was willing to do some body work, which in this case was touching her feet, just touching the lower part of her body with her legs, and just really holding presence there.
Yeah.
And yeah, what are your thoughts?
It was beautiful to see. So Kat's just holding her feet, and her feet are in socks. And kind of just rubbing her feet a little bit. And yeah, I think there was just real presence there. And the tears just flowing out of Taylor. The tears flowing out of Taylor's eyes, and Kat checking in and asking, what the tears are, their release. And she said yes, and that it's like being touched and not being scared for the first time. So it was huge. And then she kind of goes further, just after they are done with some body work, to talk, and then realizing like she's not bi, she's gay.
They didn't say it.
They didn't say. Mm-hmm. Well, she didn't. Yeah, I shouldn't. Identity and labels are huge. We don't know how she's going to identify, right. But she just said, "I'm probably not attracted to men." So.
Yeah. I think a few things are happening here. I'm not sure I'm sure Kat did something, potentially. I think just holding the presence, but it is a lot about permission. And a lot of people, maybe you're out there who are conditioned to be a certain way, or to act a certain way, or to love a certain way. And the realization, just having a space where you can stop and go, okay, what is it that I want, and what makes me feel safe, and what I'm making a choice. I think that's really what was at the heart of this healing. That she gets to choose, who she wants to bring closer to herself, and that it's okay, right? Like finally giving permission, and experiencing both, like the man first, because again, the assumption is you're a woman, you're with a man. Like that's just what they just paired him up. Even though I think in the beginning she said that she was bisexual.
Yeah, this was all very clear. I remember we talked about this where we were like, why are they pairing her with Andre? Like,
right.
Yeah.
Right. But it's part of the show.
Yeah.
See like the transition into a woman, and I think it's great. I would say it is not as easy to find male surrogate partners as you can find women, but I encourage anyone to even just have like a cuddle session, or to find a practitioner, however it is that you can find it, just to see kind of what shows up for you with a different gender.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think too, when you're talking about permission, like Also, I find in doing surrogacy work, so much of it is just the modeling of something. And so, even probably just sitting in a space with another woman, like in this tent, in a more intimate setting, Kat probably feels more like a peer potentially than like Celeste and Danielle would be potentially. I'm just guessing here, right? How this might have played out for her, and thinking about how it plays out for my own clients, right? Um, but so layering of these kind of situations where just being in an intimate setting with another woman, where she was then, it seems like her body just like exhaled and relaxed in a way that I don't think she had that permission,
Right.
and that setting to be able to even know. And the story that she shared and the way that they have been working with her previously was one of more conformity, you know, and one of saying, like, trying to feel like I will fit in, I can fit in. She's saying, I will be the person that goes out to the bar and have a one night stand. I will be the person that makes eye contact with this guy. And then he's making eye contact back, and she's like, actually, no. So it's so simple in some ways what they did. She's clothed, she's wearing socks. Kat is holding her feet and then going up a little bit onto her bare legs and just being with her, and then sat next to her and just kind of like touched her arm while she cried. And it's just that presence of being with it with another person, and a gender identity that you probably wanted.
Definitely gay. Oh no, thank you.
Gay.
So in the episode 3, they did a kind of gendered experiment where they did the makeup, they did things that conventionally, traditionally women do, nail polish, makeup. And then they took the men and took them, and I guess it was all for the men.
Yeah. So the men got some makeup put on them by the women.
Nail polish, whatever, big beauty makeover, and then they went and chopped wood to kind of look at their masculine side.
Mm-hmm.
And so from there, then one of the participants went and saw the surrogate partner, one of the men. And he was just touched all over. It was just basically all that they showed us that they did.
Yeah.
And what it seems like to me is happening is this kind of like exposure therapy.
Yeah.
Right. So they're kind of just giving them glimpses of like trying to get them to feel things, experience things, kind of break out of their box. So the makeup thing, I think, as I was thinking about with my clients, I would find it really beneficial to have a client of mine, especially of the one who's been raised conventionally male, to have like maybe a spa day to do like the pampering. I think that would be really helpful, because men again are very much not allowed. Like you shouldn't have those feelings. You shouldn't experience those things, like just the softness and the beauty and smelling good and like having that part. I think that would be really helpful. Um, but because you're trying to take it away from gender, like, oh, that's a thing that women do, and so I like that. And then going into like, I guess the feeling emotions as well through using your body and chopping wood. I think that could also be. I don't know if I have access to that for a client, but I'm thinking like we could like throw axes, or they could go. I mean, there's things, but actually coming up with an expression like like feeling that kind of like release of emotion would be helpful. I don't know. Just wanted to kind of just say what I'm thinking. And then again, a lot of the work that I'm seeing here is somewhat passive. So it's the clients are there just lying there and they're being touched. I think it's exposure, especially if they've never been touched before. That way.
Yeah.
Do you want to say anything? That's one of them. recap?
I think reflecting on what you just said now and like the last bit, there's something to, regardless of the gender aspect, of just being serviced, of being pampered, of being the one that is like being taken care of, like, and taking care of your body in a way that is, it's a little indulgent, right? Like a mani pedi, right? It's not something that you need, right? But it is something like, um, can you receive in that way? Can you delight in your body? Do something that is a little extra. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's important.
Yeah, I think it's important for everybody, right? Even what you were saying of like seeking out a provider yourself, like being on the other side of things. And yeah, in terms of like, again, they're playing with gender a little bit here, so it's like, man with makeup, man with axe, chopping wood, right? But I think you can also do this without the gender stuff. Um, so even like just the letting emotion out, like I do a lot of like sort of primal screams, like mouth screams, like just covering your mouth and screaming, or screaming into a pillow, like just letting stuff move.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah. The gender and sexuality
Holly, guess what?
episode.
Yeah, say more.
Just that Taylor is settling on being gay, called herself gay. So that sexual identity. And then Tom is now thinking more about his gender identity. That they began it by saying, the audio, I should say, voiceover, or no, he said this in the beginning of his story, this episode, of saying that he likes to be out and dancing, but there's a difference in the way he is that's camp versus gay. But a lot of people think that he's gay, but he's just being camp. And then the makeup on him, which he really looked great.
Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah.
I think most people look good with makeup, but I mean,
but he looks particularly like he was like there was a shine about him. So, and maybe he is noticing that in himself, because he's then feeling like, I actually do like this makeup, and maybe it isn't camp, and saying that non-binary doesn't feel like the right fit for him, but he doesn't know what it is. And I liked how Kat, the surrogate partner therapist, just said to just sit with the feeling and not try and get into a label right now. Yeah.
I'm noticing that when we talk about confidence, this is the episode of confidence.
Yeah.
It is going to be really hard to feel confident if you don't know like who you are. Like if you don't know what you like, if you don't know like some basic things about who you're attracted to or what you want, or like those types of things. So it's definitely an episode of discovering who am I?
Yeah.
Much more. So like the first episode it was very external, like look at these erotic whatever things, and it felt very much outside of them. And they're slowly moving into like their relationship with themselves.
And you can't be confident if you don't know yourself, right. Your identity. Right. Yeah. You can't be confident if you're conforming.
That's true. So there, put that on your bumper sticker. Can't be confident if you're conforming. Yeah. So be yourself. I'm going to continue. Okay, so I have a question, because you know Somatica, and this is Somatica. They're doing a dating exercise. And so how do they work with neurodivergent people? So the dating exercise, it comes in 3 parts. First part is making an in-the-moment compliment. Second one is giving the look that's communicating, I'm into you, I want to kiss you. And then the third is the lean in. That's what we just saw. And so if you're neurodivergent, you're not going to pick up on some of this stuff.
No, you're
Did
not.
they do any teaching on that kind of stuff?
No,
Like,
not
did you learn
totally.
about these like dating things, like giving the look?
I don't recall it being this packaged together this way. So that feels a little bit different. What feels similar though is just the sexualization of this exercise. Right. I would not teach these three components necessarily for somebody who is at their level,
like on a first date.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, in terms of the training specifically, I think they had some conversation about neurodivergency. Some people maybe in the training would chime in. Maybe one of the teachers maybe identified that way. I can't quite recall, and kind of just talked about their experiences. So it was a little bit touched on, but not overall, like as a consideration. Yeah. Yeah. What are your thoughts on the sort of way of teaching dating?
I like the compliment thing. I mean, I think it is a good thing to practice, and I could see that also included in my circuit partner work, where we practice giving compliments because I haven't incorporated that. So I think that'd be fantastic that people practice saying the thing like that they like about the other person, and not focusing on necessarily like physical.
Yeah.
Like so, like nuancing how to give a compliment. But in our society, what one person would consider really creepy is really attractive to someone else.
Sure.
And so let's say you're on a date with somebody who you don't really find physically attractive. They may say something that a really very attractive person could say the same exact thing. It's always concerned because there's always like people make memes and like videos about this, which is feel like if an attractive person says a thing to you, then you're totally fine with it. Or somebody you don't find quite attractive says the same exact words. It's like not okay. It seems like creepy.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to set anybody up for failure. I'd be like, yeah, go out there and then like do this eye thing and then lean it. And like they'd be like, dude, no, that's really creepy. Like that. That the creep factor is something that I know a lot of people are really sensitive about.
Yeah.
And I'm curious if they can address this. If they will, like, how do you, or come off too intense or too like desiring or too like even like there was obviously between the two women that demonstrated this, they're both flirting. They both want to be there and they both want to flirt.
Sure.
So like if you're already in a dating situation where you're both in it, then I think it'll work. But if one person is still like, I'm just getting to know you.
Exactly.
I don't know if that works.
That's the thing is like I don't like the way that this is packaged as in on a first date you're going to do all these 3 steps. I would not advise that. Like I work a lot more again with nervous system regulation and with tracking like how you feel. Like do you want to kiss somebody, you know? It's not necessarily a successful date if you go and do these 3 steps of compliment, kiss, like go in, give the eyes and then go in and lean. Like did you actually want to do that? Do they want to do that? Like picking up on all those little cues. Like that's what I think you're talking about with neurodivergency. Even if you're not neurodivergent, like how do you read these signals?
I will say I was on a date a year and a half ago, and he was dropping me off. Like I got to the restaurant on my own, and then he's like, "I'll just take you home," because I was like only a few minutes away from the restaurant. He's dropping me off, and we're in his vehicle, and we're just chatting, like parked, right? And suddenly he kind of comes over and like grabs me and pulls me into him to kiss him. And my like reaction was to like get away.
Yeah.
And I'll admit, as a woman with a man in their vehicle, and obviously he's stronger than me, at some point you just like, well, fuck it, I might as well just like give in, right? Because I got to figure out how to get out of this fast. So like, okay, here's a kiss, right? It was like basically like just lips to lips. And then as soon as it's done, I'm like, okay, I'm trying to like wrap it up and like, okay, I'm gonna go, bye. Like, and wow, there was absolutely no subtle, no, like, it was terrible.
Yeah, clearly you didn't feel safe, you didn't want it, and you made the choice of moving forward because that is like a
Had to get out of this the
that's how you
fastest
get
way. Yeah.
out of it.
And like, yes, you know, and I was, yeah, and let him know the next day, no, we're not moving forward.
Yeah.
But like the really scary, sad thing is I'm thinking he thought it was okay.
Yeah, of course.
Like he's thinking that's sexy and that's fun and that like
it's the confidence. It's the I'm
yes, he was acting
you,
very confident,
right? And that I think overall we've talked about this in the show is the heteronormity of like predator prey dynamics, and so it is that the man is the predator and the woman is the prey, and even we see that in like Taylor retelling her story of like the guy's making eyes and then she's like high like trying to get out of it, doesn't want the eyes, doesn't want that, she doesn't want to be the prey in that situation. Yeah, so there's a lot of such nuance in all of this sort of conversation, because sometimes maybe in a different energy that would have felt good to have somebody kind of pull you in.
Totally,
right?
100%. I would have loved it.
Yeah.
But he wasn't reading the room.
No, that is
and not everybody can. And I guess that goes to the point. Like I would say, be very cautious when anyone gives you like directions, like do these three things, and then you're shoo-in to whatever experience you're hoping for. And
yeah, that's it. It's like that's not. It's so much more nuanced. You can't just say this is what you will do on every single date. Well, I mean, there are certain things that I will say, right, but not in a escalation.
So with me,
when we're in escalation, no.
I think with either of us, but I can speak for myself. I won't be teaching you step by step. Sometimes men will come like, and I want you to teach me how to do X, Y, Z for a woman. It can be either sexual or not sexual, whatever it is. And I'm like, I won't be teaching you any kind of step by step. That's not a thing. It's never a thing. And if anyone ever tries to sell you on like, if you just do these steps, you're in. But what is for sure is learning how to communicate.
Yes.
Learning how to listen.
Yes.
And if you're neurodivergent, like, then you got to find some shortcuts. So like, how do you, that you need to let that person know I am neurodivergent. I don't read social, like nonverbal cues. Like, it's okay to let people know these are some of the things. This is how I operate. Is it okay if I just ask lots of questions, or is it okay if I ask you, if I can touch you? Like, are you comfortable with those type of things? And that's what needs to be practiced more than like learning how to like perfect the art of like whatever, moving forward in something that you don't. No, it's not. Yeah, not everyone works the same, basically.
Yeah.
All right, continue.
Let's see how they do. Also, this is like going back to in the beginning, a few episodes where you watching the participants like just kind of like not be able to watch the flirting. Did you notice that?
They were better about it.
What?
They were better about it.
Yeah. Some of them were still kind of looking down.
It was a little
uncomfortable. Yeah, some of them were still kind of like, I don't want to look at the flirting.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
It's still new for them.
It is.
So Ben had his experience, and I'm watching them do these 3 steps in dating. I think that the key, now that we've processed it, talked about it, and are watching a little bit more of it, it's when I give a compliment to someone, how they respond. There's a lot. If they're into me, if they're into it, if they're into this thing that we're doing here. And I can see how they're using it can be really helpful. So, like, if I compliment you and say, I really appreciate the kind of attention you give me when I'm talking. You really give me your full attention. It feels really good. You get that? If you, and I guess I can experience that in my body. Like, if you're like, yeah, I really like to give that, right?
Yeah.
That's a signal.
Yeah.
That this is good. Yeah. This is working. I can trust that.
Yeah.
And to take it to like and then this I thing that they're saying, like, like, and then it's slowing it down. And really often clients, they really struggle because they move too fast, right?
Yes.
So it's like, give it almost, take a deep breath, make a compliment, notice, take a deep breath, notice what I'm experiencing, maybe what I'm noticing from you.
Yeah.
And then they're taking the hand. If the person's like, "Ooh, don't touch it," like, you don't know if they're gonna be okay with taking a hand. They're like, may I touch your hand? They can even ask, like, may I touch your hand?
Yeah.
Touch the hand.
Yeah.
If they're still like yes, then I think and then they're doing a kiss on the hand. Like, if they're okay with the kiss on the hand, I think you're pretty much, unless you mess it up after that, you're pretty much golden. I think it's like, it's a good, that things are going in a good direction.
Yeah. So now you're into the approach?
I see what they're doing. The compliment is really key.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not so much that you have to read the person, but I think it is how they respond to the compliment. Like, what's the chemistry, like the thing that's been created from that compliment is really powerful.
Yeah, which you could see it working with them, but it wasn't explained so well. And again, we never really know if it was explained better, but it's just kind of truncated because of time. But I think that that's the being able to pay attention to cues and to be able to be in your body, right? And so when you just said that compliment to me, I could feel you being intentional, and then I like let my body kind of open to receiving that, and then I could feel it as well. But if we are rushing and we're not really in our bodies, and like somebody could not be feeling it as much, and so then they might like shift away, right? And so then we have to teach our clients to like read that cue. Okay, so you did the compliment, but the person shifted away, or maybe they got uncomfortable, and then that's an opportunity to ask them, right? So it's like that, like, did they open to your compliment, or did they kind of recoil? And if they recoiled, it might be that they're into you, but they're receiving a compliment's uncomfortable, or they might not be feeling the same way.
So I'm going to throw a wrench in all of this.
Okay.
I'm concerned about one thing. I think we need to live in a society where friends give each other compliments.
Yeah.
So what happens if your friend gives you a compliment?
This was a homework assignment that I gave one of my clients, actually.
So if a friend gives me a compliment, it doesn't mean they're flirting with me. Like, it doesn't mean that they want something with me. It doesn't mean anything romantic
Correct.
or sexual.
Yeah.
So I still think it still has to come down to like, hey, like, you still have to use your words.
Yeah.
Because I know that there's plenty of people out there that would love to get with their friends, like love to have a relationship, and they want to like initiate and have like, can I move this into something that's not friendship, but maybe romantic or sexual? Yeah. Giving a compliment to a friend may not make them think like, oh, they're interested in you romantically or sexually. So it works if the context is dating, like everyone's there for like this intended purpose. But if you're just friends with someone, I have friends that compliment me all the time. I don't ever assume that they want something with me.
Yeah.
That's also okay.
Right.
But I still then expect them to say, I want something more with you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I still think I need that.
It's like, remember being like, no, I like you.
Yes.
Yeah.
They still do that. The kids still say that.
Yeah. They do?
Yeah, they do. My kids have,
sweet.
I've heard them say that. Yeah.
Sweet.
So, I mean, yes, this is great if the context is you're in a space where you are doing the thing, that's exploring the thing. But if it's just you and your friend, I don't think this is going to push it. Unless you say, hey, I'd like to know if we could be more.
Yeah. But it has to be more direct. You've got to, like, the whole thing to all of this is that there's risk.
Absolutely.
There is risk.
It's
dating,
scary.
love, relationships, it's risk. It's all risk. And so I feel like that's a big part of it, is teaching people to be okay with
Risk management.
Yes, it is. Which they're all about to go on dates with each other, and they're all about to take a risk. I mean, I feel it, you know.
You still go on dates?
I do, and
dating is fun. I think it's fun.
Yes, and it's a risk putting yourself out there, being vulnerable, like as it like can escalate and then more stuff gets put on the line and then what if it ends and everybody's got baggage showing up with it, unpacking
Hopefully they're showing it, they're not keeping it hidden and then later you're like, oh shoot, what did I get myself into?
Nobody that I date is keeping their shit hidden.
That's really good. Okay, well, we're gonna continue.
Coming here, I've been learning a lot more about my own identity.
I found that as well. Yeah. Really puts it into perspective.
It does, 100%. When I had my makeup put on me.
Yes.
And then I had to take it off, and I felt a bit, oh no, I really wanted to keep that on.
Say that.
It got me thinking a lot about my own sort of identity. I'm not sure. I think if gender is like on the spectrum,
yes,
I'd say I'm exactly between he, him, and they, them.
Yes, so masculine, but not.
But yeah.
Do you still identify as straight, like you like girls?
Yes, I still very much like women. It's not a matter of like who I go to bed with. It's like who I go to bed as.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Go to bed as.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Thank you.
It's not who I go to bed with, it's who I go to bed as.
So,
and this evening,
I love that.
So good.
Should we pause that?
So how are we gonna?
And we can pause it.
Just say it.
It's not who I go to bed as. Or no, it's not who I go to bed with. It's who I go to bed as.
Good way to explain gender.
Yes, and sexuality, because they're different.
That is true.
Yeah.
Enjoy that.
Yeah,
that
yeah. I'll probably run for.
Oh, that was awkward. I feel really great. I feel confident, and I feel like I've pushed outside like a massive barrier with me with like going on dates. She's just an amazing girl, and I'm really glad that I was with her for that date. You want to hold my hand? We'll make it like an official date.
That was like, felt like a real date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they were being really honest with each other about their feelings.
Yeah.
And that's really important. Like it was awkward. How are you? And
yeah. It just felt real as opposed to the other ones that were like more on an exercise, which I like that we get to see because that was like modeling how it might really look like when you're actually kind of feeling, you're like sussing out, you're like, do I like this person? Do I not? Do they like me? Like, and then that's sort of like, you all right? How you doing? My gosh, I went on this date with this woman and she was just asking me like, what am I thinking? Like every other minute.
Oh my gosh. Okay. She was nervous.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. And I'm way more comfortable in silences, especially doing this work. Like I've gotten really comfortable in silence. So there's just like lulls in conversation and she was just filling them in with like, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? What are you thinking? And then like even like we kissed and then it was like, what are you thinking?
Oh no. What happened with her? Didn't happen.
No, I ended it.
Could you have given her feedback in the moment?
I did. I did at some point. And then ultimately I texted her and just said like, I think I make you nervous and that's not good for me nor you.
And she was okay.
Yeah. And she was like, yeah. But my point is that even in that date not really working out, it's very real for people to kind of do something to check in, right? And to kind of be a little repetitive about it and just kind of like, are you good? Like I will do a lot more like checking in, like, are you comfortable? Do you want to move? Do you want to be inside? What's your time? Like time, I'll do a lot of like, containment, like thinking about like how long we actually have, and then like kind of keeping up on the time and be like, we're coming up to close. Do you want to extend it a bit longer or not?
You don't take a risk.
Oh, I do too. Yeah.
Like when you say, I want to stay longer with you, do you want to stay longer?
Yes. I mean, I might say that too.
Put yourself out there a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I'm not trying to say, I guess what I wanted to say is not that like other people are only nervous. I get nervous too.
For
And
sure.
so, but mine isn't always going to be like, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? What are you thinking? Mine may be more of like, just talking about where we are. Do you want to move? Where's the time? I want like, yeah. And I might put myself out there for sure and be like, I'm enjoying spending time with you. I know we only agreed upon like an hour, but I probably could do like another hour and a half, or like I have to go, but I want to keep.
It's important to say that piece.
Yeah.
So when she's like, "What are you thinking?" What do you think, kid? And like, this is what I'm thinking. What are you thinking?
Yeah. Yes, with this person in particular, there's a point where that was like playful, and then there was a point where it was tedious.
Kills it. Yeah. All right, so that's episode 3. I don't know. Didn't feel quite like as spicy as the other episodes, but I think it's making up. The next episode's making up where this one did not create as much spice. So we just got a little preview of the next episode. So please watch our episode 4 as it comes out. Because it's on nudity.
Yes.
Which is a big part of the surrogate partner work.
Yes.
Particularly just being comfortable looking yourself in the mirror. It looks like they're going to be doing mirror work, which is a big part of what we do. This is non-sexual nudity. So yeah. I'm quite much looking forward to this.
Yeah. Stay tuned.
Yay! Bye.